Rather lads, welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Reports from Portugal indicate that Arsenal are very close to signing Viktor Gyokerez. It's only the financial details that are being ironed out. Viktor Gyokerez is going to be an Arsenal player. It's a very, very fascinating story that is breaking the internet in the last few minutes. This is according to Lyon Imports, and they're saying that Viktor Gyokerez is very close to joining Arsenal. Only financial details remain. The deal is now very advanced. The deal is expected to be done by the end of the month. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. I don't have more information on this one. We just have the breaking story, and we are going to be reacting to this big breaking story. Arsenal are very close to signing Viktor Gyokerez, according to a very close source to Sporting Lisbon in Portugal. It is not a story that has actually been, spreading. 11 minutes ago, it breaks the internet, and all of a sudden, it's everywhere. All of a sudden, it's on my timeline, and I said, let's come and talk about it with the community. Now, this is a story that has nothing, absolutely nothing on it. It doesn't specify the amount of money. It doesn't specify where Arsenal are in terms of agreements with Sporting Lisbon. It also doesn't specify whether we've agreed personal terms with the player. It's just a dead story that breaks the internet. The Arsenal are very close to signing Viktor Gyokerez, and negotiations are advanced. First and foremost, I am not going to say it's a wrong story. It could be right. Again, this is a Portuguese source that is very close to Sporting Lisbon, and they trust their information. I am not going to trust their information 100% at the moment. However, what I'm going to say is, let's see if Fabrizio Romano, let's see if David Ornstein can actually back up this information in the coming few minutes and also in the coming few hours. If David Ornstein doesn't publish anything on it, if Fabrizio doesn't publish anything on it in the next coming hours, then it is a dead story. I don't really even care about Fabrizio right now, because Fabrizio this summer has been absolutely slow, and it's been very unreliable. I mean, he's just tweeted that Graham Potter has become the new Leicester City manager, and then Leicester City have just confirmed Stephen Cooper as their new manager. So not even Fabrizio. I want to get it from David Ornstein. I want to get it from The Athletic. I want to get it from the Ghana blog, James McNicholas. The Arsenal are very close to signing Viktor Gyokerez. The first thing I want to say is, right from the start, Arsenal wanted to sign a striker. And again here, I'm going to quote Fabrizio Romano. Interesting. Very interesting. Hypocritical from me. I'm going to quote Fabrizio, who said Arsenal have a list of options they're looking at in terms of a striker. They are not yet decided. And this was a few weeks ago. This was almost a few weeks ago when Arsenal were really big on Jose Zirkzee and Arsenal were big on Benjamin Sesko. Fabrizio came out and said Arsenal are not yet decided on who the striker is going to be next season. Kai Havertz is much appreciated, and his presence up top could actually change the profile of forward they are looking at. But then he said that there are a couple of names in the list that Arsenal are looking at. There was Gyokerez, there was Isak, there was Ivan Ferguson, and a couple of other players. So, is Viktor Gyokerez finally the name that Arsenal have settled in? Is Viktor Gyokerez finally the target that Arsenal have settled on? If he is the target, good decision, Edu. Good decision, Mikel Arteta. That is why we trust you every single day. However, don't take this news with absolute certainty, because I'm not taking it with absolute certainty. I've decided to do this story in order to get my thoughts and feelings out there. I don't want Arsenal to sign a striker. Like, I really don't want. Us signing a winger, and us signing a number 8, and us signing a number 6, that is all beautiful. But we have to remember that last season, one of the things that actually didn't make any sense for Arsenal was us not having a prolific number 9, was us not having a good number 9. And although Kai Havertz has done well, he's given us a very good run of games. I think 18 games, where he was exceptional. Arsenal still need that big centre forward. I've looked at Šeško for Slovenia. I've looked at Jovic and Mitrovic for Serbia at the Euros, and I'm like, that is what Arsenal need. Arsenal need. I'm not talking about the names. I'm talking about the profile of a player. We need that big centre forward, head balls down, hit the balls into the back of the net. That kind of guy that is always there to, tap it in. So for me, Viktor Gyökeres again would be a very good signing for Arsenal. And I don't have anything against that signing. I don't have anything against that deal. But is it truly happening? That's the first question. Now, the publication that reviews this is Sport Witness via a very, very peculiar source in Portugal. And what I'm going to say here is, I think Arsenal are working, and we have worked on a couple of targets. So Gyökeres is definitely one of them, because it wouldn't make sense for Arsenal to scout a 43-goal machine and don't try to sign him. It wouldn't make any sense, right? Yes, it's okay. You can scout a player and eventually you don't try to get them. But if you're scouting a 43-goal machine, if you're scouting an energetic, lethal forward like Viktor Gyökeres, come on. You've got to try to get them. You've got to try and find a way of doing a deal between you and Sporting Lisbon. So I know that Arsenal have done some groundwork on Viktor Gyökeres. Now I don't know whether it is as advanced as the Sports Witness and all these publications are saying on Viktor Gyökeres. I don't know whether it's advanced at that, and I'm not sure it is advanced, because what does it mean when someone says only financial details remain? What does that mean? Like, honestly, if a deal is advanced, it means a price has been agreed. It means release clause, not release clauses, but add-ons have been agreed. So when you say financial details remain, that doesn't make any sense. And that's why I'm taking this story with a pinch of salt, right? But I know Arsenal will have done some groundwork on Šeško, on Zagzi, on Gyokerez, on Isak. We will have tried to sign these guys, and maybe at some point in time, for example, for Isak, Arsenal will have noticed that it doesn't look like Newcastle are going to reduce their asking price. It doesn't look like Kia Joorabchian is going to reduce his asking demands for Joshua Zirkzee's sign-on fee and things like that. So Gyökeres, for me, is the perfect signing and the perfect striker Arsenal could get. Number one, Viktor Gyökeres has an £85 million release clause. You could trigger that. Arsenal have the potential to trigger £85 million in that guy's release clause. If we signed Kai Havertz for 65 million, I mean, this is a player that we were never sure was going to come good. He was not on form. He was not in form. But we signed him because Chelsea sold a dream to us, and the dream came true. Thank goodness, right? But at the moment, listen to me. At the moment, Viktor Gyökeres is number one in terms of centre forwards. If you want to get a centre forward, if you want to get a striker on the world market right now, it's definitely Viktor Gyökeres. So even if his asking price is 100 million, I'm 100% sure his price is going to come down. I've talked about this with Glenn before on the channel, and I said I am 100% sure the price of this guy is going to come down. I am 100% sure that Viktor Gyökeres' price will come down from 85 to around 75. So if we were willing to sign Šeško for 55 million, Šeško 21 still has a lot to learn. I think adding 10, 15, 25 million on Gyökeres on that price, I think that is very possible. So there is a world where I see Gyökeres' price coming down, and there's a world where I see Arsenal upping their demand, not demand, but their bid for a striker. I don't think Arsenal are just going to walk away after trying Šeško. Šeško is not a striker that you fail to get and you walk out of the transfer market. Like, you remember the days where you remember the days when Arsene Wenger wanted Higuain and he wanted Benzema. I kind of understand why Arsenal eventually didn't sign anyone in those summers, because Benzema is Benzema. If you have Benzema as the striker you want, if you don't get Benzema, it's okay. You can walk away out of the window and say, hey guys, we wanted Benzema and we didn't get him. But it would be mediocre, weak, feeble for us to say, oh, we did get Zaxi and Sheshko, so we have failed to get a striker. Shut up. So their profile, Sheshko and Zaxi, however much I really respect them, their profiles are not profiles where you go, we've not got Sheshko, so we are not signing anyone. We've not got Zaxi, so we are not signing anyone. So again, I still think Arsenal will go in for a striker. Again, I still think that Viktor Gyokerez is going to be a hot pancake, a hot cake, right, on the market. And I think Arsenal will be looking to look into that direction. Now, let's talk player and let's talk about Arsenal and Gyökeres. Because this is where I think Arsenal have an upper advantage over Sporting Lisbon. If Arsenal could convince Gyökeres, if we can agree personal terms with this guy, if we can show enough interest, serious interest in him, I think Arsenal gets him. I don't see Benjamin Sesko. Why do I say Sesko? I don't see Viktor Gyökeres as a player that is 100% willing to stay at Sporting Lisbon like you saw Sesko. I think with Sesko, he was given a bigger wage. He was given a much better guarantee. I don't think Sporting Lisbon are going to massively up the wages of Viktor Gyökeres. I think the only advantage they have is Viktor Gyökeres being, respectful, disciplined, and staying in line. That's the only advantage they have in this deal. He's got to be disciplined and he's got to stay in line. Otherwise, if he pushes for a move, which he very much he could, if he pushes for a move out of there, a move will happen. And I see it happen, and I see Viktor Gyökeres moving out of Sporting to another club by him pushing for a move. So what Arsenal have got to do here is we've got to play our part, send in a decent bid, maybe 65 million, and also send in a very good proposal to Viktor Gyökeres and his camp, maybe 150,000 per week. When we do that, Sporting will ask for more money, obviously, and Gyökeres will ask for more money, of course. But it will mean that Arsenal have set their standard. That it means that you've set your standard, you've shown that you're serious about getting him, you've shown him that you're serious about signing him. So, at the moment, unless you're telling me that Arsenal have sent in a good proposal to the player, Arsenal have sent in a good proposal to Sporting Lisbon, I don't think it is advanced. I don't think it is very, very close, right? I like the story. It's a very good one. It kind of got my adrenaline working. It got my dopamine raised. I mean, I think the only thing that has raised my dopamine has been this Euros game. They've been absolutely cracking. And make sure you do watch the Euros, especially now that Arsenal are not working on anyone, or Arsenal are not announcing any deals. We're working on players, but since we are not, announcing any deals, the one thing I'll tell you to do, go and watch the Euros. It is absolutely interesting. It's absolutely insane. So let's wait and see what develops here. Could a deal be done before the end of this month? I think we are very close to the end of this month. We are 10 days away from the end of this month. I think Arsenal's first signing is going to come in July. Second signing in July. Third signing, August. We might see 3 or 4 signings. I think the goalkeeper signing will be the last one after Ramsdale leaves. I don't think we sign a new goalkeeper before Aaron Ramsdale leaves. And if Ramsdale eventually stays, which eventually could, then we might not even see a new goalkeeper. The good thing with Viktor Gyökeres and this deal, Gyökeres is not at the Euros. So you can have enough negotiating time. You have a lot of time to negotiate with Sporting Lisbon. You have a lot of time to talk about this deal. Regardless of what happens, there is enough time for Arsenal to talk to Sporting and get this deal done. He's not at the Euros, so we're not saying, oh, he's still at the Euros like Paddy Kadioglu. No. So we can get it done today, we can get it done tomorrow. Like I said, I'm still waiting for that big announcement, right? I'm still waiting for that big announcement from Fabrizio, from On Stain, from The Athletic. If James McNicholas says boom, if Athletic says boom, definitely. It's a big story. Also, I think the Kai Havertz situation where he's playing for German up top as number 9, it's going to be crucial, guys. It's going to be crucial. Kai Havertz might actually play 38 games plus around 15 games in the UEFA Champions League. Are they 15? Let's see. 8 in the group stages, 2 round of 16, that's 10, 2 quarterfinals, that is 12, 2 on the semifinals, that is 14, and 1 in the final, that is 15, yeah. So 15 games in the UEFA Champions League, 38 in the Premier League. He might play all those games for Arsenal as striker. So, is Gyökeres coming or not? Again, catch me live with Glenn at 9.